Alright, I just found out that a good friend of mine, a good friend of the family, my daughter, the church that I grew up in, pretty good friend of mine. His name is Preach, because he's a preacher, man, a Seventh-day Adventist church. But he was born Baptist. I just found out that he's dead. That he died today. And Preach was found laying on the side of his bed in his apartment. And for the life of me, I'm just trying to figure things out, because before I got the Rottweiler, I was already having dreams of floods. And back at the hotel, like I was saying, I was having dreams of floods. I was having dreams about the last days, mark of the beast. Just floods. And I was having this compelling thought in my dream, in my visions. And God was calling me and compelling me to go preach and speak to his people, and be a preacher. In fact, I made videos of it. Now that I remember. Yeah, I did. I made videos about God calling me to go preach. But just now, before my sister in the faith, sister in the faith, she's like my sister, you know. Not my blood sister, but she's like my blood sister. Uh, she's like my middle sister. I don't have a middle sister. I have a oldest sister and I have a youngest sister, but I don't have a middle sister. So to me, she's like my middle sister, Tamika. She's like my middle sister, the sister that I never had. I never had a middle sister. I only got two sisters. One is Miriam. She's my youngest sister, and my oldest sister, Deborah. She's my oldest sister. So I don't have a middle sister. So, quite frankly, I kind of look at Tamika like she's my middle sister. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's kind of like me, the middle child. See, I'm the middle child. I'm in the middle. You But she just gave me the news about a good 15 minutes ago, and it just hit me kind of hard that a friend of the family, we know each other pretty well. He knows my two daughters very well, KK and JJ. Real good friend of the family. I mean, like, he was he was there when KK was born. He was there when JJ was born. So, you know, pretty good friend of the family. While I was actually rapping and doing traveling and doing music. And this is actually when I was actually married at the time before the divorce. So, and actually before I went off the war. So we're talking about early 2000. You know what I'm saying? Because Kayla was born 2002. All right, and JJ, well, she was born in 2004. I was already overseas. I left in 2003 to go fight in the war overseas for 9/11. I was working at Baylor Medical Center with Grapevine, before the war, before the towers fell, before the so-called, 9/11, where the planes were crashed into the building. Now, you have to excuse the way that I talk and the way that I teach or the way that I preach the word because, like I said, I was raised Seventh Day Adventist, but I was also raised Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. You know what I'm saying? But I was raised Seventh Day Adventist, so primarily that's what you hear the way that I speak. The way that I speak, the way I teach. If you hear me preach, you'll be like, damn, that's how Seventh Day Adventists preach. Not all of them. So, not all Seventh Day Adventists preach like me, but generally, yeah, that's how they preach. But anyway, it's not like the Church of God in Christ or anything like that, but with the hype preaching is what I call it. Hype preaching. You know, the same thing that the hype man do. But preach was good friend of family. You know what I'm saying? And relatively pretty decent guy. He had some issues, health wise. I kind of saw it, even back then in 2000, 2002. He was kind of like, looked like he was going a little blind in one eye or something like that. He was having some health issues. Looked like, he might have been suffering from high blood pressure or diabetes. And coming from the Baptist church, he eat pork, so that contributed to a lot of his health problems. You know, then I get the news today that that preaches is gone. He died. He died today. They found him in his apartment, on the side of his bed, laying on the floor. And then how he got found, don't know. How he got found. Maybe somebody in the friend or a family was calling to check up on him. Uh, Probably no answer. Probably didn't think about it. Tried calling back a couple of times, no answer. And then, after a few times ringing and no answer, he probably just got, worried a little bit. Somebody probably, there's no telling, because he was found on the side of his bed in his apartment, laying on the floor. And preach is what they call him, but I forgot what his real name was though. So forgive me. I forgot what his real name. I have to ask my daughters, you know, what his real name was. But the funeral is supposed to be next week, and I'm not sure if I'm welcomed to go to his funeral or not. But I don't know. It already kind of just hit me a little hard myself, and we wasn't at. Me and Preach was friends. We were real close, but not as close as the rest of the family, especially Mr. Clemens, Mrs. Clemens. You know, they're probably they way more closer because him and Preach was best buddies. You know what I'm saying? We're not. So it was kind of like a trio. Mr. Clemens, he'll preach. So and preach, he would preach. You know, and I was a minister of music. That was my department, minister of music. So I rap. I'll talk a little bit, but I'll rap. I'll do music. I'll do poetry. Or I was music ministry over music, minister of music. So that that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? All the Seventh Day Adventist churches knew about that about me. That I was a minister of music. That's what I did. I get up. I rap. I do poetry. I do entertainment. I'll DJ. You know what I'm saying? Anything, I DJ, cue the music, DJ. So that's how, I was able to maneuver so much, in music because I know how to do sound check. I knew how to check your microphones. I know how to cue. Um, I can DJ and everything. So, and microphone one, microphone two, knew how to do the what you call that, the reverb, when you know you get the reverb coming through feedback in your microphone, hurting everybody's ears. When I really wanted to piss somebody off in the crowd, I'll do it. I knew how to do it. See, a lot of times people be up on stage and they get to talking and rapping on stage or whatever. You get to rapping, and then all of a sudden, that feedback, that reverb, it's the sound guy. It's sound check. Don't ever. It's certain people in this world you don't mess with. All right, that's mama. All right, that's number one. Mama, don't mess with mama. Don't mess with the cook. And 9 times out of 10, that's one and the same. Unless your dad knows how to cook. Well, in my family, it was my mom and my dad. So don't mess with that. Number three, don't mess with Josiah. Number four, don't don't mess with every artist will tell you, don't mess with your sound booth. Pay your sound booth. You don't want to get a Ice Cube don't want to get up, do no music, and all of a sudden, all throughout the show. You ain't paid the sound booth, man. You ain't paid sound check. You ain't paid them. Oh, man. Yeah, that's bad for the show. Especially on microphone one. You know what I'm saying? Might turn your mic off. Everybody see that you lip sync. And you don't know your lyrics. All right. Then everybody be looking at you like, oh man, you what was that group, Millie Vanilli? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit can happen. You ever notice? And that happened with Jay-Z. A lot of people don't see it. But it takes somebody who works in the sound booth to catch on. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I was minister of music. I'll be up there cueing your music. You know what I'm saying? It happened to Jay-Z. His mic got turned off. He had to actually say his lyrics and he forgot it. So, but yeah, Preach died. So I'm wondering, what the visions were. God was calling me to preach, and I'm just, and now all of a sudden, preach is dead, I get the, I, I get the Rottweiler puppy. I name him Stormy, and then, you know, all of a sudden, Saturday, Sunday it's raining, and then Monday is doing bad weather. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bad weather. You know what I'm saying? The whole week it's just been bad weather. Ever since I got the dog, it's really been stormy outside, and now I was looking, the floods all in DFW was flooded in DFW in different places, and now all of a sudden preachers dead, man. So I really want to actually just pray, and because I really want to just pray because uh, coincidence, I don't know, man. I don't really believe in coincidences like that, but I believe in purpose. I believe that everything has a purpose and a destination and preordination. But coincidence, uh, I believe that everything happens because God wills it to happen. And that's part of your purpose and destination. That's what I believe. A coincidence, I think not. So, yeah, I was just like crazy, man. Struck. Anyway, shut this thing off because this is bad that it happened like that.